Thank you for that. So as you rightly pointed out, this is the second largest manufacturer of soda ash, has almost 26% of market share. Now, what is soda ash? So it's nothing but it's also known as sodium carbonate. Is a white odorless water soluble salt, and has a wide range of industrial and domestic applications. So for example, the largest use of soda ash is in the manufacturing of glass, because it makes glass production more energy efficient and easier to ship. Also, the soda ash, if you so also manufacture sodium bicarbonate, which is also known as baking soda. But they are also into consumer products, but 98% of their revenue comes from soda ash, but 2% comes from consumer products like edible salt, industrial grade salt, and one of the honey they make, that is jujube honey. Now, I was talking about the soda ash product offerings, that as Harsh was mentioning, one of the proxy play to consumer business. So, soda ash is actually used in soaps, in detergents. For detergents, it acts as a water softener, in solar glass, as I told you, and in flat glass. So, these are the products, or these are the segments where soda ash is being used largely. Now, onto the geographical expansion, or rather geographical analysis, if I were to talk about, 96% of their revenue comes from domestic market, that is India, and 4% from export. So basically a domestic focused company.
Yeah, sorry Varsha for that. This is one of those, again, we've tried to pick some of these even on purpose. When you're looking at the export number, no tariff impact whatsoever.
Yeah, no tariff
Everything's
impact.
domestic, so no concerns
no
there,
concerns
right? At least that headway is something that one can look for when you're looking at companies like GHCL. Anyway, Varsha, please go ahead.
So, so this is basically what company does in a simple language, that they manufacture soda ash. Now, onto the capex, which is the next leg of growth. So, they are going for, onto the current capacity, so soda ash capacity stands at around 12 lakh metric tons. And even if you see their sodium bicarbonate, which is your baking soda capacity, is at 120 KTA. And also, now the main important thing is what is the capex, what is the expansion that they are doing. They are setting up a capacity, bromine capacity. Now, what is bromine? Bromine is a heavy, volatile, I would say a reddish brown liquid, which is used in your water treatment, in your oil and gas exploration. If you know about Neogen Chemicals, they are into bromine derivatives, so they make value-added products from bromine. If you know Archean Chemicals, they are into bromine. So what they are doing is that they are setting up capacity of 2,800 metric tons of bromine, and they're going to generate 40% EBITDA margin from this. Now, this is what as company says. Also, for vacuum salt, if they're setting up capacity of 1.7 lakh metric tons at existing plant in vacuum salt, and they are also gonna go for value-added products which will be derived from soda ash. Now, what I want to understand from here, as Harsh was talking about the margins, because you're going into value-added products, is there a chance to increase your margins? I'm gonna ask to management as well. Also, they're also going for greenfield and bromine projects. So soda ash phase 1 and phase 2 capacity plus bromine capacity of 10,000 metric tons. So this is nothing but the capacity expansion that they are planning to, and this will add the revenue. This will add incremental revenue for the company, which has been flat over the years. So overall, this is the business model for the company and the capacity expansion that they are doing.
Let's quickly go across. We have Mr. R.S. Jalan, who's the Managing Director at GHCL, joining us. Sir, let me first start off with the China factor. How much of that is playing out with regard and impacting your realizations? Are we seeing any of that as a significant concern currently?
Oh, thank you, Harsh, and good morning to both of you. I think very nicely you have presented the whole history of GSCL.
Thank you, sir.
And before I respond to this, your China situation, which you have just asked for, I just want to give you some perspective of the GSCL. See, we are in the GSL, we are having around 40 years of the legacy. In these 40 years, now we are one of the largest soda ash producers in a single location in India. The second, our market share is around 26%, which used to be around 15 years back, used to be around only 15%. So we have moved our needle from 15% to 26% market share. Our capacity has gone up double in last 15 years, and our revenue has gone by 3 times. Our profitability has gone by 8 to 9 times in last 10 to 15 years. And our market capitalization has gone up by 25 times. So I would say, Harsh and Varsha, that in last 15 years, we have created a very strong foundation for the GSCL, where we are one of the cost leader in the margin leader in this industry. Second, we have created a long value for our stakeholders, and we have a kind of a long legacy. I just want to add one more thing here, is that our cash flow at this point of a time, as you very rightly said, from a debt of around 2,000 crore, around 12 years back, we are today 1,000 crore plus in the balance sheet. So this is what the journey which we have gone through. Now coming back to your point on China. China has around 45% of the global capacity. Against 80 million tons of the total global capacity, they have something around 38, 39 million tons of the capacity. And obviously, China has a major role to play in the global scenario. But good thing which has happened in China in last 2 years is that on one side, they have added the capacity of around 10 million ton, but on the other side, the demand has also been phenomenally very high. Around 10 to 18%. In 2023, it was 10%, and in 2024, it was 18% growth, which was a very phenomenal growth. Of course, currently, in the short period of last 5 months, their capacity has been, or their market or their demand outlook is slow, and because of that, there is no growth in calendar year 25. Yes, in the short term, definitely we see a kind of an implication of China's scenario onto the overall global soda ash business, and that will definitely have an impact on the Indian industry as well.
So the pricing pressure is still expected. So will that impact your Q2? Because I remember that last time you said that a Q2 will be impacted, but now since we are very near to the Q2, how is Q2 looking?
Yes, Varsha, Q2 and maybe 1 or 2 more quarters is definitely going to be challenging for the industry per se. But like I said, if you look at the slightly longer terms in this business, like you have very rightly presented the number, our EBITDA margin is in the range of around 25 to 30% kind of a margin range. And I think if you look at maybe 2 years down the line, probably you will see that kind of a margin will continue to be there. I just want to highlight one more thing here. Is like you very rightly given the number in 2024 versus 25. On one side, our prices have gone down by 19%, but our bottom line is only hit by around 4 to 5%. And this is all not because of only the raw material prices. This is all because of the operational efficiency which we have built in our business over a period of time. And this capabilities of ours will continue to drive us from on a different level of scales.
Understood, sir. Sir, talk to us about where does the top line go? You're adding capacity. You've guided for 2 to 3% growth in FY26, if I'm not wrong. And we've built that into what we've built into our valuation metrics. But talk to us about beyond that. Bromine comes on stream. You also have fresh capacity of soda ash coming on stream. When does that come? And how much does that add to the top line? Give us that perspective. What does it take your potential top line to? I understand realizations are fluctuating, but give us that perspective.
Right, Harsh, in this year, 25-26, we will have both the capacity of your bromine, which is, as you rightly said, 2,800 tons will get added to this, and maybe last quarter of this year, that will come on the stream. And our vacuum salt will also come on the stream on the last quarter. Beyond that, in next 5 years, our vision for 2030, because we are setting up a new greenfield project where we have a vision of around doubling the capacity what we have right now. From 1.2 million ton, which we have currently, it will go to 2.3 million ton. And you can imagine this number going just going to be double than what the revenue we have and all other numbers.
Also, sir, with just on the extension of this question that Harsh was talking about, I just wanted to know, because of this, the capacity expansion that you're seeing over the longer period of time, how are you seeing the EBITDA margin, increase? Will you see the increase in EBITDA margin because of the value-added products that you're going into, and because of the expansions, that you are doing? So, any kind of a ballpark, a number that you could give us on margins for the next, 2 years?
See, what's up, when you talk about the next 2 years, like I said, our capacity of the new greenfield project will be coming in the only after 3 years. So that's number one. So therefore, the margin expansion on that soda ash business will be after 3 years. Yes, bromine and your vacuum salt will definitely improve our overall margin, but the percentage of that in the overall revenue will be not very significant, and that may not lead to kind of a very significant overall margin increasing in the business. But that will obviously add to the bottom in terms of the absolute number will get added.
The balance sheet metrics on your screen now, that borrowing number clearly visible. Mr. Jalan, I want to understand, you're doing plenty of capex. How much you've guided for 300 crore over the next couple of years? For how long is this kind of capex cycle going to last you? And what's the return? Because 300 crore over the next 2 years, even 600 crore is virtually nearly 10% of your market cap, or more than that, in fact. So talk to us also about the return ratios. What does it do to that number? What's the aspirational return ratio you want to maintain as a floor, as the absolute minimum?
See, Harsh, if I can talk about this 300 crores which we are talking about, primarily these numbers are going into two parts. One is the bromine and vacuum salt business, that is number one. And there the return ratio will be very, very significantly higher, which will be something around more than 30%. The second is the operational efficiency which we are I spoke about it. So that will also kind of help us to kind of maintain or improve our margins. Overall, in these numbers, probably you can visualize a kind of a return ratio of around more than 20-22%.
Sir, just my quick last question is that, of course, as the capex cycle will play out, what do you do with the cash flow? Does this mean better dividends to shareholders? Because you'll have 300 crore of free cash flow, your debt is now sub 100 crore. Give us that quick perspective, sir. I have only 20 seconds. Sorry.
Yeah, Harsh, I think the board will definitely take a call on that. But like I said, we have to invest around 6,500 crores into the new greenfield project that will start getting spent after 2 years. So probably we will kind of have a discipline of the growth as well as the dividend to the reward to the shareholders.